Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm participating in a DIY challenge. It's Funtime Friday, hosted by Tiffany over at Broke Girl Aesthetic and co-hosted by me, Robin's Buys and DIYs. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I took some regular old jars from Dollarama and I painted them to make them into these beautiful water jars. So the first jar I decided to use turquoise. And before I put the paint on, I did spray it with spray adhesive. And that made the paint stay on a lot better. So I did give it a few coats of paint and I used my hair dryer on low to dry in between coats. And then I decided I wanted to put this burlap ribbon on top and this burlap flower. And I just glued those on with hot glue. And I really thought it looked high-end looking. It just made the jar so nice. The second jar, I decided to paint gold and black because it was around the time of New Year's Eve, and someone suggested making a New Year's Eve one. Now I did this on a live, and if you haven't caught my live streams, you should check them out. They're really fun. I do a lot of crafting, scroll sawing, shopping hauls, try-ons, and more, so make sure to stop by and check me out. After applying the gold paint, and it was coming out really good. I was falling in love with it. It was so shiny. I decided to turn it upside down and paint on that side as well. And I really like this color. I decided it needed a little something, so I painted black stripes on either side and I added these really pretty star stickers that I had gotten. I also painted the lid in the same gold and black and added stars on that as well. I really like how it turned out. The next one I decided to do pink. And I did the same technique. I put on the adhesive spray. Then I proceeded to paint and blow dry in between paintings. I had these little beads, these little gems from this gem kit. And I decided to add them on top of the wet paint. I also added some spray adhesive as well to keep them on. I don't advise putting spray adhesive on over paint because it did leave the jar sticky. Once I had all the beads in place, I decided to paint the lid. I painted the lid pink, purple, and white, and I added more beads, and my jar was complete. I really thought it looked like birthday cake. So the next jar, it was a coffee container that I had saved after I had drank all my coffee, and I painted it this really nice blue, and I decided to put some embellishments on it. So my guest hosts on my live, Billy and Connie, they were the ones that told me what to put on. I had this blingy ribbon and Connie told me to put it in the middle. And then I had this little ball from Christmas and I put that on top. I also had this little bracelet that had little gems in it. and I decided to cut all the little gems out and make like a little brooch in the front. I used 5 little black gems to make the petals and a little clear gem for the middle of the flower, and I thought it turned out adorable. It reminded me of one of those perfume bottles, you know, the fancy ones. On my live, I also made another jar, and it looked like this. And the next one, I was suggested by one of the viewers to make a gradient one. Have you ever heard of that? I looked it up, and it wasn't what I thought. It was kind of like ombre. It went from orange, like dark orange to light orange to yellow. I'd never done something like this before, so it was an interesting challenge. So I put all my paints, the different colors, on a paper, and I blended them on the paper, and then I put them on the jar. So if you don't have a palette, you could also use a paper. For the lid, I decided to paint it yellow. And once it was dry, I went in my stash and I looked for some stickers. Someone in the live suggested using a sunflower sticker. So I found my stickers and I chose a sunflower and I put it on top. Then I took a little jute ribbon and wrapped it around the lid, and then I tied it in a bow. Here's how it turned out. Isn't it cute? I just love it. So I just wanted to show you a few of the jars that I did. Some of them off camera and some of them on. And I also did some of these big jars around Christmas time. Now the next jar, I decided I had bought these little burgundy roses from Dollarama, and I wanted to put them on a jar, and I couldn't decide what color to put with the burgundy. So Billy suggested green. So I painted the jar green. Once I did, I took another piece of that twine, and instead of making a ribbon, I took the piece and I crisscrossed it all around the little jar, and at each crisscross is where I put a little rose just with hot glue, and then I put a couple more roses on the lid. And here's how it turned out, and I really like that one. I want to thank Tiffany over at Broke Girl Aesthetic for hosting this awesome DIY challenge. Funtime Friday is always great because you can do whatever you want. And who doesn't want to do what they want on Friday? Make sure you check out the playlist in the description box below. Dream, smile, and laugh out loud. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.